20 years ago, the Devils won their third Stanley Cup in franchise history, so we bring in Scott Niedermayer to discuss some of the memories you have from back then. First off, welcome to the Legacy Lounge.
Thank you.
When you think back to 2003, what was the identity that formed out of the Devils in the playoff run?
It was 20 years ago. You know what, I don't think, it was at the start of the year. I don't know what the expectations really were for our team. There had been a few changes over the last couple of years, as I remember, and I think what happened is we really got on a roll at the right time, and we had a bunch of players that had been through it before, had won a Stanley Cup before in 2000, and I think that was a huge advantage for us as we just kind of started to gel as a team and got into the playoffs and started having success. That I think that really helped us. Obviously win it again, just having that experience.
As you mentioned, you've won multiple Stanley Cups with the Devils, so you've been a part of these reunion weekends before. What is the experience like for all of you to be brought back together 20 years after winning?
It's great. I think before I went to my first reunion, I was sort of wondering about it, but then you get here, and it really is like you've just been away for the summer, and you get back together with your friends, your teammates, and everybody's pretty much the same. We look a little older, maybe gained a few pounds, a little less hair, a little gray or whatever, but the personalities are the same, and the jokes come back, the same old jokes we were telling back then, you tell 20 years later. So it's a great thing and a fun weekend to be together.
Scott Gomez told me he thought you were a very good storyteller out of this group. Even though he's been also nominated by Martin Brodeur.
Yeah.
When you think back to a good story that stands out in your mind about that 2003 Cup team, what comes to mind?
Oh, wow. See, I don't think, did he really say I was a good storyteller?
He did.
I would say I'm the worst storyteller, to be honest. I don't know if it's a real story. It's more of a personal thing. Obviously, we ended up playing Anaheim, who my brother played for. So that was, a very unique, crazy experience. Yep. To be in a situation like that. I'd been part of the Devils when we won 2 Stanley Cups prior to that one. So you get back in the finals. It was our 4th time as a team being back there. And my brother was back there for his 2nd time, and he hadn't won a Stanley Cup yet. Yeah. So, if we were 12 years old, I would have loved to have beat him. Yeah. But, we were older, and I think our relationship had changed, which I'm sure is pretty common. You start to cheer for your siblings, and you're a little more supportive than you are when you're 10 and 12 years old. So it was hard to see him on the other side when we did win, shaking his hand after the game and seeing how disappointed he was. At the same time, I was thrilled and excited for me and our, my teammates, and obviously some guys on our team that hadn't won. Right. So
we hear so much about what it was like playing in front of the home team or home crowd that season, how involved the fans were, and just for you to have this reunion weekend and bring the fans a part of it. What impact does that have for your team to still be able to celebrate with those who were cheering for you all those years ago?
Yeah, I mean, the fans are a huge part of playoff hockey. I mean, the emotion in the arena and, the energy, how loud it is. I mean, the fans are bringing that, and, for sure. I mean, you get into a Stanley Cup run and it just builds and builds and builds. And that's one of the things that makes it so special, is that you're sort of sharing it with them, the whole journey, ultimately. And yeah, the fans here have, more passion, as much passion as any fan base in the league. Yeah. I would never doubt that. I mean, the support they give us is tremendous, something that you do remember. It's part of the feeling of winning and being able to, share it with them, whether it's on the ice after the game or when you bring it back to New Jersey. So, yeah, the fans are a massive part.
We are so happy to have you back and sharing some moments, and thank you for your time.
Great to be back. Thank you.